Was it? What'd you say?
Nothing. What? I
Did he?
was trying to find out if we're on live,
Yeah, we are.
if we can hear each other.
I know, but yeah,
Okay. All right.
you good. Even y'all
Check it.
trying to get my wife. She's almost there.
Oh,
Communications degree in a couple more weeks. She'll be good. Communication arts. Jokes, babe. Why you get so mad for? Everybody, I bet you, everybody out there knows I'm just joking around. They're harmless jokes, and you look so beautiful today on Father's Day. You look like my little present. I'm about to unwrap you.
what?
Woo! Nah, I'm playing. Good evening, y'all. This is Full of the Podcast. Stop shaking your head. And what do we know about Full of the Podcast?
It's right there.
Read it. And we know,
Everyone's full of something.
yeah, and what else? And we hope that what we are full of inspires you to release what you're full of. Good evening, y'all. I'm Anthony. This is my beautiful wife, Felicia. The hoodie.
Yeah, take that off.
Have,
Like, why did
no,
you
it's
take
not.
it?
I like the shirt. I bought this shirt a couple of weeks ago from one of my stores.
One of your stores, you own it?
No, one of the stores I go, I shop. I wasn't finished my sentence. Beautiful lady. Good evening. Welcome Full of the Podcast. And happy Father's Day to all the fellow fathers out there. You know, it's appreciated.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, guys.
I hope to have
Gentlemen.
at the end, we'll have a message for
And father
the
figures.
fathers. Yeah.
What is a father figure? Like an uncle?
Father figure is somebody that doesn't necessarily take the place of a father that guides you as a father would.
Okay.
So you can like even like with the boys, I would say Stan would be like a father figure to them. Our Felicia's cousin's
Goddaddy,
husband.
yo, that's the same thing.
What's that?
He's goddaddy. But
No, that's different. They're different responsibility. So like I would like would Stan as a model of what a father is if he tells Jaden something or Landon anything, I trust him. There's a lot. I have a lot of guys that in my circle that I trust for them if they were in the presence of the boys and Hannah also. That I trust them in that aspect. So anybody that inspires you as a father. So it could be an uncle, could be the friend of the family, it could be a big brother, big sister type of thing. And then that big sister goes, that'd be a man. It'd be a big brother. I'm talking about big brother, big sister program like that.
I get it now.
But any man, you know, I have a lot of young men that I mentor. We have conversations with. So, and I take that mantle as number one, the father, and the spiritual father too. So, pastor's my spiritual covering, my spiritual father. That they're not going to see anything done. Pops Ellison, he's a father figure, and I can go to him for fatherly advice. And there's a bunch of men that that I model a lot of things. Like for instance, like my friend Jason, real good friend Jason. I don't say there's a reason why I don't say best friend. You know, I got 3 guys that I'm really tight, but I got a bunch of good friends though. But Jason, yesterday we went to the men's breakfast. We had a men's breakfast yesterday, and he came with his father. But I told Jaden afterwards, his grandfather goes to the church too. So it's like his grandfather takes his father, who takes Jason. They go and do different activities as father son. The Barretts too. Students through June, just to see that, and I emulate that, and I try to do that with my sons. It's important as men that we lead our children correctly. You know, if we have daughters, make sure that when we do go out on father-daughter dates, that they understand this is, you should expect nothing less. So it's important that their future relationships, get ready to talk. I got to drink. My throat is scratchy. I'm not getting choked.
Is that a warning that you're telling me that?
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be drinking right now? Anyway,
No dead air. You know, you're supposed to be saying
I'm
something. Go on, girl.
I'm saying something. I'm just trying to piggyback off what you're saying, but go ahead and finish.
Oh, see,
It's
you got away with that.
It's
So,
funny.
like, so in the black community, the breakdown, there are, I don't think enough men out there.
Hmm?
We get, as far as when there's a lot of good fathers out there, but I think the bad fathers overshadow the good fathers in the black community, because every time we turn around, they talk about men not being there, deadbeat dads. But I think because the men I hang with, they're all good fathers.
Okay.
So I haven't met a deadbeat dad at all. No, I'm dead serious. I don't know a deadbeat dad at all. Period.
Okay. I do, but I won't put them on blast.
Yeah, I know from my brother Glenn. Your brother Zach take care of his boys. All my friends that have children take care of theirs, and every time
They
I see them,
try to take care of them to the best of their ability.
every man I know takes care. Now, when it comes to care, yeah, they need monetary stuff, which is a true statement, but presence is better than a present.
Yeah,
My
so
presence around my children and how much I love them, because there's going to be times when we don't have the money to give presents, but I can always give my presence to my children. So if I'm doing anything, I told this many times, if I'm doing anything, they come to me, that's God telling me, okay, you got to stop. It's time for you to talk to your children. But number one, they want to hear from you. But number two, God has something to say through them to me. So I need to pause
So the definition of a deadbeat dad.
Somebody
not
that's
there. A deadbeat dad can be there, but the parent, the mother won't allow the father to see the child.
That's not a deadbeat dad. And then,
but in her eyes, he is, because he's not doing. Maybe he doesn't have a job or something.
No, but I understand that. But if somebody's not allowing him to see,
but that's gonna be her definition of it, though.
But it's not a true statement, though. What's the truth? The truth is, if you're not allowing it, and then at the point, me as a father, if you wasn't allowing me to see my son, we're going to court, because I gotta see my son, my children. Period. I gotta see Hannah. I gotta see Jaden. I gotta see Landon. You're not cutting me off for that. A deadbeat father has nothing to do with money. A deadbeat father is somebody that doesn't have their presence isn't around to influence how their children are being raised. That to me, that's more important, because again, like the way Pastor was talking about it today, we were growing up. I had my dad, in his presence alone, and anybody that was at I called it a book. I miswrote when I wrote it, a book signing. It was really a book celebration, because I invited the most I could invite of the people that mean a lot to me to the signing, and it was merely more than that. And I couldn't invite everybody. And the vision of what I saw was actually the ministry center. Then I could have invited everybody in the church. This is a lot of people, but we had to do it in that fashion. But my friend Jason, he was the moderator at the book celebration, and he's this to me, he's one of, out of all my friends, I got a bunch of geniuses, especially in my circle. But I got a bunch of geniuses, but with the gift of words, he's brilliant. So he read my book, and then he developed a bunch of, and he proved that he read my book when he was at the book signing, because his book was all beat up and outlined and everything. So that's my dude. But he read it, and he was pulling out questions, and we had much more. And he was telling me the other day, we had much more questions to answer me. Yeah, he had much more questions. But the one question that broke me down, I never realized it. But as I'm answering the question, the Holy Spirit is talking to me at the same time, and it broke me down. So he asked me about my dad, and then I started talking about his presence and connecting the dots with my dad's presence and being in God's presence, and how much just being in his presence meant. And my dad didn't have to do anything. He didn't talk much. to me. He didn't hug me. He never kissed me on my cheek, head, whatever. We joked around here and there. That's about it. But just being in his presence, being able to watch TV with him and embrace some of the qualities that maybe my brothers and sisters didn't see. Because me being a baby, I was allowed to lay on the couch. It wasn't a baby laying on the couch.
Oh
But
my God.
as I'm just saying, but we had dialogue and sports, TV, and whatever. And he drink his Valentine ale, and that was it. We have little mini conversations, but not knowing the importance of the presence. We're always by default, and sometimes and it's a bad default, but by default we're always going to be with our mothers. Majority of people are with their mothers.
I was a daddy's girl when I was growing up.
I'm talking about biological wise. There's nothing wrong with the substitute. You always seek your biological, and
Huh?
you
Your
always seek your
biological.
biological mother. You seek their love. The substitute love is good. It's a good. The presence is good. Having a father figure is good, but you seek the ones that brought you to this earth. So, in other words, if you didn't, then you would have stopped looking for your biological dad. Right? You could have paused. It's 50 years and you finally found out who your biological dad was.
Mhm.
So,
But from my understanding, my family already knew.
no, I know, but you needed to know.
Mhm.
You had to close that chapter of, and I love Otis to death for stepping in and being there for you and allowing you to be a part of his life and being a figure that was a father in your life. But but to close the chapter of, okay, who is my father? Who's my
What's
family?
the missing piece?
What's the missing piece?
puzzle?
And it's simple. And we seek after your father's love. The mother's love is always there for the most part. I'm not saying in shit, like even like for you growing up, it may have been different, but for the most part, when the child is born, I would give it a high 80%. Most people grow up with their mother. Being around.
That's most.
Yeah, most people grow up.
My
with
story is a little bit different, so it's not. Yeah.
And you had mother figures and father figures in your life.
Yes, my Aunt Emma.
So
she was my mother figure.
And again, even mothers that step in is different than a father stepping. It's a different, like when Aunt Emma stepped in, that love was different than your stepdad Otis. It was a different type of love. It was there, but it was a more nurturing love. So by nature, women are nurturers. So and you can feel a mother's love from a woman that's mother. So
I forgot my fan.
So, but it was like for me, just in like when Jason pulled that out, I started crying. Everybody was crying because I didn't realize, and I know it as a father, but you don't realize how much the importance of a dad's presence in your life, also as in God. So, a lot of times we have questions of how God is and what does he do this? Why does he do this? And we have the answers in front of us. And if we go back and look at certain things of children growing up, you get a lot of answers of how God is. And you as a parent, how do you feel when your children look up to you? So, but it's important for me, especially to the men that are out there now that aren't there for your children, the importance of your fault. The minute you lay down with a woman, you're a possible father. So the responsibility happens before a father's born. So if you decide to lay down with a woman, you're
taking a chance of becoming a father.
Yeah, and there's if you're not responsible to be a father,
wrap it up.
That's it.
Or
or don't even do, because that's not even, think about it.
It's not biblical.
What's no, not even
It's not,
biblical, but
it's not. It's just supposed to be married first.
no, but what I understand that, but what's more guaranteed? Because a condom is not 100%. You can still get it.
Mm-hmm.
You can still something could still happen. So before you think about laying down with a woman, think about the responsibilities. And it goes in layers. Are you going to be able to be in that child's life? Can you afford that child from a monetary perspective? Because the child needs, a woman shouldn't have to do it on her own. And I know
But
I know a lot of women that have, and they've made it through. But the reality is, it's not their full responsibility when a child is born. So we have to, as men, we have to be more responsible, especially knowing we can't. And it's a slave mentality, because we're doing exactly what the slave masters wanted us to do anyway: have children and then go back out in the field. It's exactly what they're doing. So, and you're still part of the problem. And I'm talking about the deadbeat dads, not the good dads taking care of your responsibility. The deadbeat dads, you're
but
part of the problem.
You can have some good dads out there too that's still not present. They taking care of the family, they taking care of the house, but they're still not present. I see that all the time.
What, inside the household?
Yes, they're two-parent household. Like let's just say us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the house, but not saying you, but you're not present. You're taking care of the house, you're taking care of your bills, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but you're not present when it comes to your kids. You're not spending time with your kids. You're not doing this with your kids. But on the outside, people looking at, oh, they're the perfect family. But in the inside, it's like you're absent from your kids. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It happens.
But
and it's like that.
As a man, as a woman, what's the key to freedom?
What's the key to freedom?
Truth. Be truth to yourself. Look in the mirror. Am I doing everything I can do with my son, with my daughters? Am I being there? Because there are some men, like you said, that think money is the answer. No, it's not the answer.
I didn't say anything about
money. I didn't say you did. I said there are some men. Again, you defined it early in the church. Are you a man? Why am I giving you a high five?
Kristen saw that too.
I know she saw it, but I told you I did not hear Pastor when he said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. I said that to you. I just looked at you like, why are you getting ready to pound me? I ain't no dude.
I know, but you shouldn't get offended. But why would you get offended by that? That means
I wasn't getting offended. I thought it was funny because I was like, I'm not a guy. Why are you giving me a high five?
But the whole thing is, a lot of things I'm more or less obvious. I'm not an idiot.
I know that, but when Pastor said that, I could swear you heard him, and you turned around and gave me.
All right, so then think about it. You can figure it out yourself. Only thing, you just sit there and say, okay, Pastor said high five a man.
Something like that. High five two men.
And I turned around.
You about to high five me.
So if I'm doing that, what does that mean? Answer the question.
You think I'm a guy?
No. And far from that, I think that you're a guy. So you should. What I'm saying is, a lot of people should have.
Yes, honey.
Let's look at the camera. Common sense. So it's common sense to say.
Yes, dear.
So, but most men, you're not gonna get me distracted. So most men, they think the money thing is solved. That I give you this, I give you that. That's a false. That's nice that you have the money to give, but so what? You can get me a BMW. Right?
Are you talking?
No, I'm just saying. So what, you can get me a BMW. Or say you can get me a 2025 or a 2024 BMW. What good is that if you're not around me? Mm-hmm. Or you're not able to give it to me or bring it to me? So, yeah, I'm a sucker. So what I'm saying is no. Mm-mm. So what I'm saying is that the monetary thing means nothing if your presence isn't there. It's cool if I had millions and I was able to get the desires. And here's the same thing with the relationship parent to child God to us. If our children desire something versus what they need, um, as a dad, if I can get it for you, I will, as long as you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing as a child. We ask God for things, but He doesn't always give it, and there's a why behind it. So if Landon wants to drive the car, no, he can't. He's not able to. You're not ready to drive a car because you're 12 years old.
No, no.
So as
But his mother was driving.
Here we go. I'm trying to make a
I'm
point.
just saying,
You're killing the
but go ahead.
point. So as children of God, we have to understand that just because we ask God for something doesn't mean that we get it. Because He may think we don't need it. He may think we're not ready for it. Or He may just not want to give it to us at the time because it's not towards the path that you need to go.
And it's not.
It's
his time, right?
It's a timing thing. It's a timing thing. When are you ready for it? And sometimes, He may give us a vision for something, but you don't know when it is, and you just have to stay to your course, pray on it, keep doing your work and everything like that. So, but you almost got me, of course, with the deadbeat dad.
Because I'm just trying to figure out the deadbeat dad part. Like, what is the definition of a deadbeat dad?
Deadbeat dad is whose presence is not there.
It.
So I know, but like even in the case, like my dad wasn't a deadbeat dad, but he didn't do. Actually, he did do activities because we made sure when we went to, believe it or not, we went to Rod Playland together, Rockaway Playland. These are amusement parks in New York, and we went. He went with us. And so, complaints, do I have any complaints about? No, I have no complaints about my dad. And then as children need to observe their parents and what actions, like Pat was saying, his actions. So my dad, without knowing at the time what he was doing, a lot of stuff, he was very accountable for his actions. He was very what's the big word? His character was good. He could have been shady with a lot of stuff. He didn't. So, so I loving you. So I loved him growing up, but loved him more after he passed. Because then I was able to talk it out had conversations with my mother about certain things and certain things he did. And then as I'm talking, I'm revealing, the Holy Spirit is actually revealing stuff about him. We complain about the stuff our parents aren't doing, but what are they doing? And that's but the deadbeat dad don't continue to fall in line with the masters. Of course, the deadbeat dad came from slavery times because there was a slave master.
If there's a definition for deadbeat,
I'm just saying where it came from.
I wonder if there's a definition. Probably not, right? You think there's a definition?
You're messing up.
I'm not.
So, but during so what the deadbeat dad actually we tend to deal with the deadbeat at right now instead of going back to where it actually came from and dealing with that. And even as men, just trying to stop the cycle. Don't have 3, 4, or 5 baby mothers. I understand the first one, maybe the second one, but then after that, you gotta wrap it up.
So here's a definition of a deadbeat dad: a father who owes money to his former wife to help raise their children, but does not pay it.
No,
that's dumb.
No,
the absence of parents' units.
And that's more the absence of them not being there.
That's an example.
Money, and I understand what they're saying about the money thing. They're saying more or less like not providing for your child. Just because I'm not with the mother of my children doesn't mean, number one, the presence is important, but number two, supporting the baby and how the child's being raised.
Some women may not. The money really doesn't matter. Just like we said, just you being there.
Yeah, but there is a responsibility of raising.
They're supposed to take care.
That's why I said, before you even think about laying down with a woman, are you able to be around that child that could be born because of you laying down with a woman, and at the same time you be able to provide for it? Because if you gotta if you're going to school and you got a part-time job, that ain't gonna make it, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna stop having to go to school and get a full-time job. And then if you don't have the education, or if you don't have the hookup to get a good paying job, then you have to work 2 jobs. So then how you gonna be around your child enough? So you have to, that whole process, and we don't think about that. We just think about, okay, oh, she look good. You know, I can look at my wife and say it every day. But I ain't going nowhere. We're married. I'm not going anywhere. No matter how ding dong she at.
Because I got Leslie in my blood, and there's a crazy side to Felicia. And yeah.
Well, I know she's crazy. She already got her prison gear on right now.
Yeah, you don't want that part.
She missed that one.
Whatever. And
no,
I got Dawkins blood too. You heard what Sabrina said, right? When our uncles was on the funeral home. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that on the funeral home.
I'm missing. Don't play.
Nobody's gonna. Everybody loves.
Listen,
I love
don't
everybody.
play with them Dawkins, man. I hear we run deep now. Don't play. And I got Leslie blood
about
too.
A month into the Dawkins family.
But I'm not. I'm a year in. October will be a year. No, it's coming up. Our year anniversary when we found out.
I've been a Dawkins for 50 years.
Yes, I've been a Dawkins for 50 years.
51, right?
50, yes, I'm 51 years old.
You gotta stop. Your legs look good.
This man.
She find it easy.
No, with my prison clothes, as you said.
Everybody's probably laughing at that. It's a joke. Stop getting this. She looks really nice. That's all. I thought she had some pants to go with that, but
it's a dress.
Yeah, I know. This is
good. You look good. I lost some weight.
No, you look good. Remember, fine as wine, but Calvin is cooler.
Anyway, can we talk about the fondest daddy moment that you had? I could tell you one of my fondest moments I had with Otis. I don't call him Otis. I call him Dad.
Okay, was the question to me, or you want to answer? You want to ask the question?
That's a question for both of us. What's one of the fondest moments we had with our dad? And one of my
with my dad or with the children?
You could say with your children, but I'm saying with my dad.
Go on, answer the question.
But can I just tell them the story about Father's Day and how Father's Day is for fathers, meaning we're married. Anthony's not my father, right? So therefore, Father's Day should be about his children. And I should be with my dad because it's Father's Day. So for the past, I think 2-3 years, I've been saying I want to go to Atlanta. I want to go to Atlanta and spend Father's Day with my dad. So do you agree with it? You're okay with that? He's okay with that. But the thing is, I'm taking away his kids for Father's Day. But no, I'm not doing that because that's on them to spend time with their dad. So this weekend, I was going to go surprise my dad. And my brother was like, you need to call him first because Dad be out. So I was like, no, I'm just going to pop up. I'm just going to roll out. He's like, yeah, you may want to call him because he be gone. So something told me just call him. It was a Wednesday night. I think I called him Wednesday. And it was pretty late because he drives truck and I knew he was probably going to be sleeping. So I called anyway, just leave a message. He called me back. I said, Dad, I'm thinking about coming out there Friday after work. I'm going to spend the night. I'm going to take you out to lunch on Saturday and I'm going to come back home. He goes, I said, baby, I'm going to the family reunion in Mobile, Alabama. So I was kind of hurt. I was hurt because I wanted to go spend some time with him, just even if it was just for a day. Just go out there.
It's just you do your story.
Yeah, I just want to go out there for the day and come back. I would have came back because we had a party to go to that Saturday night. But he ruined my whole weekend.
Right. So,
you messing me up with that.
You can keep talking.
It's the sound. But anyway, so I told Dad, I was like, you know what, going forward every year, I'm going to make it my business that I come visit you for Father's Day. Just me alone, no Anthony, no kids, just me. I want to spend time with him. So that's what I'm going to do next year. I'm going to make it my business to go out there and spend the weekend with my dad. Because it's Father's Day, right? He's not my dad. His kids got to get that in their head. Like we went shopping. I was like, we went to the store. I was like, this ain't on me. Y'all pick your dad something out. That stuff they picked out on their own. I'm like, I'm stop doing that. I'm not doing it anymore. I would always go to the store and pick out something for you every year. I'm not doing it anymore. So if you don't get anything, blame it on your kids.
You take them. You can take them to the store.
Took them to the store. You know how they are. Here they go.
So you just
Pick
have,
something out.
just
Your
tell them to
dad's
put-
an extra large. Whatever you get, he's gonna appreciate. I didn't want no parts of it.
I know, but was this story for me? Because I'm saying number one, I already told you to go see Otis,
Yeah.
and number two, I never told you to looking at me like.
No,
So
it's
she
just,
tell-
I don't want you to be feeling some certain kind of way if I'm not here for Father's Day.
All right, here's a problem I have with people, and this time this is directed to you, but it's to people too. When you assume what I'm gonna feel,
Okay.
don't make the assumption I'm gonna feel a certain way.
All right. I'm
I
just
tell
letting
us
you
to
know.
land it. I
Mhm.
tell a lot, like people make the assumption because a lot of people think you can't tell me the truth about me. And the thing is, I desire the truth about me. Tell me when I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong. It don't hurt my feelings when you tell me I'm wrong because I know from my perspective, I'm never malicious about what I do or say. I may not say and do the right thing all the time, so the correction is not going to be that bad. So, and I tell this to Landon every day. I tell him, look, don't just make that's doing something. Don't just make don't answer the question before you ask me the question. What say? I know you're gonna say this. You don't know what I'm gonna say. I may say it's this way this time. The next time may be a different answer. But you can't. Don't think for me. And like my coworker said, he said that I hate when Anthony's mad at me. I mean, shut up. Ain't nobody ever. I never verbally. I said one time I went at him for saying and doing stuff. But number one, don't speak for me and don't think for me. That if you want to piss me off, that pisses me off. Don't think for me or speak for me. So don't say, "Oh well, Anthony did this," unless I said it. Then do that, and then don't think what. Oh, this is what. No, that's not what I'm thinking. And the other thing that irritates me is when you ask me a question, I give you an answer, and you do something entirely different. Don't ask me. Period. So if you're already going to make your decision, don't use me. If I say a different answer than what you hear, if you ask me a question, you better do the answer whatever I tell you. Okay. That's me. So don't. But that's why I was bugging out the story. You were talking to me like I had a problem. I told you before the other day. I said go and see Otis. I had no problem.
But my thing is, I was wondering how Tasha and Jermaine and Moses, like how they spent their Father's Day when James was up. I don't know what to call him. He's not here anymore.
When your dad, that's your dad.
Okay.
Call him what he is.
I never met him, so it's like it's weird saying that.
But it's a lot of stuff like, are you angry you never met him? Right then.
I mean, because look where we're at right now.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if you're not angry or anything like that, like people get angry.
Not angry.
It is honey.
What?
Since you're not.
You're hot?
I didn't say nothing. I just held my head. I said, I ain't say a word. So what I'm saying is, if you're angry, let's talk about it.
No, I'm not angry. I mean, I spoke.
That wasn't a period. That was a comma. If you're angry, let's talk about it. But if you're not, this is the other part. Then call him dad. That's who he was. Right. He wasn't around for whatever reason. Let's forget it. Because a lot of people get caught up in their feelings. Oh, my dad wasn't around. Why wasn't he looking for me? So what? You found him.
So is it weird to call him dad? I mean, Otis is my dad. James is my dad.
You can call him your father, your dad, or whatever.
Okay,
it's
put a title.
The part that you found him is the most important thing. Prodigal son. What was the most important thing?
Don't put me out there like that.
I'm just saying the most important thing. The other son didn't get the most important thing. The important thing is that the son came home.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it counts. What he did, why he left, what he took, what he lost. My son is home. he found out he knows what he did wrong. The important thing is that he finally came home. And the important thing in your story, you finally found your father. You found a whole. Your father's not here, but look how much your family expanded. You got beautiful people in there, from your sisters, your brother, the brothers, your cousins that you found, your new nieces and nephew, uncles and aunts.
Oh, we're not gonna mention them nieces and nephews.
No, but they're all. Everybody is different, and at the same time, it's a beautiful thing that now we have an expansion. It's not a decrease, it's an expansion, and we have to get out of our feelings. Not you. I'm just saying in general, worldwide. This is a worldness. We have to get out of our feelings about, oh, this person wasn't there, whatever. They missed this boy. Okay, they missed it. It's fortunate that I never got to meet my father-in-law, but I still have one down in Atlanta. You know that I love and respect. But I still have a whole bunch of sisters. I got new sisters, new brothers now, and we don't use brother-in-law. We use brother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law. So, but in to shorten it out, I say brothers and sisters. So.
In the midst of all of that, somebody's left out of all of this.
Who?
It was 3. Remember?
Are you talking about your older sister, right? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the other dad.
No, he's not left out. His name was he.
It's like, I didn't even reach out to him today. Do I?
You can if you want. But if you never did, then don't start doing it.
Right. That part.
It doesn't make sense. And that's the her. What's that word? Your what's that name you before you get married? Your maiden name. Your maiden name is from somebody who has nothing to do with you. He didn't raise you. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say nothing to do with me.
No, but I don't mean it in a derogatory way. I mean it more or less. He didn't raise you, did he?
No, he did not.
All right then, and he's not your biological dad, right?
But he gave me his last name.
That's it. I know, but he never paid child support, right?
That I know of.
Right, and so he was there. If you really needed help, he was going to be there for you. With stuff. That's again. That's not me not even knowing him, but knowing his character.
Did you meet him?
No, never met him. Never been to Chicago. I've been to Chicago twice. Once for training and 2 weeks ago. A week ago. So never met him. You went to Chicago one time without me and got your hair done. I said without me, got your hair done. Yeah. Your husband got a very not creative.
You was a part of that, and yes, I remember.
Right there, so I'm not gonna spill any beans on you.
I don't care if you did spill any beans. It was just I went out there. It was for a party. I think it was. I think that was the reason why I went out there. I can't remember.
Don't try to. Either,
but what did I go out there for? It was a party, right?
I don't know.
And I ended up getting my hair braided. But whose party was it?
I don't know.
Shut up, Anthony.
You gotta go to your MySpace page. So that's what was out back then.
No, it was not.
MySpace was out.
No, it wasn't.
MySpace was out in 2004. It wasn't Facebook.
Well, anyway, I remember going out there and I ended up getting my hair braided.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot the reason why. I think it was a party. I think it was his party because the next day I woke up and he was like, Emmanuel was like, y'all left. Me and Hannah went. Did Hannah come?
No.
I can't remember. I'm messing the story up. I gotta ask Alicia. Because he's like, you left.
No,
you probably take out the breakfast.
You probably need to ask your aunt. She knows all the answers.
She wouldn't know that.
I know it's a joke.
Oh, Aunt Margaret?
Yeah, so what happened last week, we lost all audio. Y'all missed a good conversation. We had a good conversation. If it may be posted still.
No,
maybe,
I deleted that.
Not from my YouTube page. It's still maybe up there. So, from our YouTube page. If you can read lips, you can figure out what we're saying.
Delete that. Don't leave that up there like that. You couldn't hear anything.
I'll delete it. I do have to do some maintenance work on the site though.
But what I was saying about the most memorable father moment I had with Otis was
you finally get it's like
getting to that point
3 hours later.
The most memorable was because I was little. When I was a little girl. I was little. Anthony, stop.
You
I can
remember your little
remember
cousin was on that? I mean,
my uncle Alex had bought me a bike, a 10-speed. Now I think I was like 5 or 6 years old. I gotta ask that. 5 or 6 years old, had a 10-speed bike with training wheels. Had training wheels on it. And he took them off and I learned how to ride a bike. That was one of the and I used to fight in the bed when we used to sleep in the room with mommy and I was a baby. Not really a baby, but 5 years old, like I said. But I'm a baby. I was a daddy's girl, and I ain't want him to be next to mommy, so I'd be in the middle, and I find his head. This is crazy. I used to pee on his head.
That's nasty.
Ooh, yeah, that's the story. What you got?
Ain't got nothing on that story. Well, my dad had a lot of. There's a couple of things. Because I don't know my two sisters and my brother. I had more. I'm telling you, I had more interaction with them. Huh?
What's the water bottle?
I had more interaction with them, with my dad than they did. Though, of course, the only reason why being the baby, being the last one there in the house, I used to hang out and I used to hang out with him a lot. So we used to watch what was the Michael J. Fox show back in the day?
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, he was on it.
That's not Full House.
And when he turned 16 to 18, he told his dad and things. I got 18 years under his belt. So when I turned 18, I told my dad. He started laughing. 18 years. But we used to hang out. There was one we were going to go to Rockaway Playland. There was a bus by the 113. Anybody know the Jamaica bus line back in the day? That was on New York Boulevard / Scarborough Boulevard. So we hop on the bus, and then I think on the way back or going, we were sitting in the front, and there was it was those 3-seaters near the bus driver, and there was a pole there that was broken, and this big lady came and she grabbed it and she missed it and she fell on my dad's lap. So that was hilarious. And then the other funny thing
Was it turkey?
The turkey one was hilarious. So I happen to be the youngest. I'm always around during time. So during different events. So we're in the kitchen and my mom was getting the turkey, a frozen turkey out of the freezer. And I think she was handing it to him, or I think he was handing it, my dad was handing it to my mother, and it slipped out of my mother's hand and it fell on his toe, frozen turkey on the toe. And my mother looked at him. She said, "Does it hurt?"
That sounds just like her too.
And he said, "What do you think?" Like that. It was hilarious. I was sitting there gripping the bar, so I was dying laughing. And then when it was done, I ran and told Kathy and Nan about it. So, but that was the dad moment. Then my moments like with Hannah, I love when she comes and she spills her when she's irritated about something, and we just have conversations and talking about life stuff.
That's every day.
But no, but regardless of it's every day or whatever.
Yo, they be in here talking. I leave them because they be
I try to, she's going through. I gotta, for me as the quote unquote stepdad, I have to represent a dad, and that's the thing about. And I don't use stepdad, I use dad. Period. But we step in as stepdads. We're supposed to step in when the biological dad isn't around for whatever reason. In this case, that has nothing to do with if we were back in New York, he'd probably be in contact with her more often, so whatever. But now that we're in Charlotte, he's up there. My job was to be an example and just to hold the fort for him. Not intimidated by him, or even if he's talking to Felicia about him or whatever. Also, I knew at the age 18 he can't be calling anymore. So anyway, but
at the age of 30.
But me and Hannah, we talk. That's my job. I can't let her go out there. That's irresponsible as a man to let her go out in the world and not be protected. And
I appreciate your relationship with her.
And not be and if she has questions that the why questions, or man, I'll give her the information. If she listens, she doesn't. If she does, she good.
Half the
Whatever.
time she don't.
She don't, but she has to. She
But
has
then she
to.
may.
I know, but my thing is, she has to make. And I always tell youth this anyway. Um, we are around as parents to let you know the mistakes we make. We make new mistakes. Don't make the same ones we made. That doesn't make any sense. So we give you the information. This is what we went through. Like my mother told me when I was going to high school, don't get credit cards. I ain't listen to her. Of course, she didn't give me the information behind that because she just told me don't do it. When you tell a child don't do it, they're gonna do it. If you tell them, you give them, tell them don't do it, and the why behind it. And this is what happened to me. You give them examples, they're less likely to make those same mistakes. But if they don't, it's on them. You warn them. So, but in essence, make new mistakes. Um, we have to try things out. As parents, we don't get everything right. So we have to, even though we had parents, even if I had both parents in the household, there's things I like that they did, there's things that they didn't like. I didn't like. So that's Hannah. Me and Hannah, we have our conversations. Jaden, same thing. I love actually all of them. I love talking with
I
them.
hope you do love them.
I love you again. Understand the comma and period. There's a difference.
Whatever.
I love just being in their presence and talking. I love watching number one Hannah and what she does best. I thought she would make a perfect nurse because she has a sweet spirit. She's rough at sometimes. She's like a diamond.
She needs to go back.
She's rough, but she's precious also. So those are my I wish she would do the nursing thing. I think because that's a component in the nursing world that they're missing. Somebody like that, she can be rough, which is needed, but then she also knows how to she knows how to empathize with people that are sick. So and I love watching. Again, I love talking to all of them, but with Jaden, I love watching when he does his art and when he's focused in that, and then we just have dialogue about his art. And I love Landon watching in his gifting.
And Nehemiah's gifting.
Yeah, I'm not again. You asked me.
Well, you running a million miles a minute. Go ahead. Finish.
Not like you took.
Yes,
you did a 3-part series.
Yes, dear.
So anyway, so with Landon, his is more difficult because he's real funny, but a lot of stuff he does I can't laugh at because if I laugh at it, the discipline part comes in. So I get ticked off when he does stuff because a lot of stuff is real funny. He's a funny dude. So he has a lot of qualities. And Nehemiah, as grandson, you said children, but I'll add more. He just cracks me up. And they're all, to me, they're all geniuses in their own right. In the stuff that they do. So
amen.
And you say nothing about Ziggy. And
Ziggy's don't make me cuss on here. Ziggy's a dog.
She's a good dog.
She's a good dog.
She just gets in the mess like most
dogs. But when she knew we was going to Punta Cana, she had female. She's half a human because homegirl knew that we were leaving. I guess don't pack your bag around your pets because they're gonna act crazy. That girl started doing stupid stuff the last day. I was like, what is going on with this chick? Like, she was tripping.
I thought she was trying to help me find something because she left the trail of doo-doo in the office. She left some nuggets about.
She never do that.
I picked up one. I said, oh, snap. Went in. There was more in, I picked that up. I saw some more. And maybe some still.
Yeah, it's disgusting. She never does.
Something's growing back there.
Bathroom in the house. She knocks on the door, go outside. But yeah, she was doing dumb stuff.
But she knew something's going on.
And then living her best life when she was at Miss Crystal's house. I forgot to reach out to Miss Crystal.
And so yeah, we apologize, number one, for last week for the technical difficulties. We're still trying to work this out. We may change streaming things, streaming venues, but we're still working on that. But all that being said, we're still here, but we'll be back next week too.
We're not out of town next week?
Not out of town until July.
Oh yeah, July and August.
July and August. We'll be around, God willing, and excuse me for that last month. I just saw myself. I burped. So,
I love you guys. It's been real. Time to
but yeah,
go.
so the message to my
bonus.
fathers and my men out there, just think about what you're doing before you have to really think about what you did. So and don't fight with the mother of your baby. It's not the mother that you're supposed to be here for. It's the child that you deposited here. Um so it's important that because I'm really tired of is hearing that terminology, deadbeat dad, and it really just applies to black men. That was never before the 70s. That never existed. Just the dad wasn't around. But the reality is, we apply it, and I get annoyed because I'm gonna be honest. Again, like I said earlier, I know zero deadbeat dads, and that may just be the circle I'm around. But that's really not. There's a lot of deadbeat dads, but none of them I know. So, and we just have to, as men, we have to take responsibilities. And then as you see young men, young black men, especially in the streets, reach out and talk to them. There's a lot of men, again, young men that I mentor, and some of them have fathers. But if God has called me to speak in the men's life, if they reach out to me, as long as I have the Father's blessing to speak in their lives, then I'm good. If I don't, I step back. All right. So and that's my one of my gifts is children. I love children.
Yes, and
So,
ladies, let those
young
men be
yeah.
part of their kids' lives.
Yeah.
That's
Do
my
not
thing.
keep it. Do not keep.
Don't. Yeah.
Because you're not hurting the man, you're hurting the child.
That
in
part.
aspect. So
Let them be a part. Even if they don't have anything to give, they can get their time.
yeah, get their time. Yeah, and sometimes everybody doesn't have their things together yet. But you have to trust that whatever they're doing, they're getting into the right situation. So certain cases, I understand. There's always a case for each circumstance. And there are some times when the dad shouldn't be around if he's abusive. If he's doing time and stuff, if he's selling or doing anything illegal, yeah, they shouldn't be around. So let's raise our children right, both parts.
Raise them up.
All right, happy Father's Day again. Yeah. What's that?
I said on that night.
Yeah,
on that note.
Go on, you pretty get away with anything today, girlfriend.
Can you? I'm peeling. You see my legs?
I thought you were saying I'm peeing.
You see that? That's nasty. I'm peeling like crazy on my knee. It looks crazy.
It's so good.
Night, y'all. Happy Sunday.
Love y'all.
Happy Father's
See y'all
Day.
next week.
Peace out.
Let us know what y'all full of. Hey.